And in the um, fifth and sixth grade, um, we each of the four public schools and the Catholic and the Lutheran school played tackle football. So we had a tackle football league of uh, all of the schools and all the elementary schools in town. And so when we went to the ninth grade, then all of the six schools were together in the public high school because the two parochial schools didn't have a high school. And um, I was I was I was as tall as a ninth grader as I ever was in high school. I was about 5'10", and I don't know, I must have weighed 155 pounds or something like that. And I played on the varsity football team as a ninth grader. Um, and when I was in the ninth grade, at some point in the season, um, one of the players hit me on the side, on our team hit me on the side, and I tore my ligaments in my left knee. I was playing fullback, and I had fairly good speed, but I was playing some in games in the varsity as a freshman, as a fullback. I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks into the season, I got hurt and didn't play very much later on, and it totally tore all of my ligaments. So I would go to the doctor's office most of the rest of my high school career, and they would drain the fluid out of my knee, and then I would Monday they'd drain the fluid out of my knee, and then by Friday when we played, I could play. And then when I was a sophomore, junior, and senior, I played offensive guard on a single wing offense, and I was also a linebacker. So I never played fullback again. My chances of playing college football and being as good at it were I was not anywhere near as big as a guard at 155, 160, 65 pounds than I would have been as a fullback. But we had a good football team, and I played football and was an all-state honorable mention guard and defensive linebacker when I was a senior and junior. And we played in probably the first or second best Class B, second largest size school district in Michigan football. Big Rapids, where I went, had I don't know, 25 or 30 years where they never had a losing season in football. I was a good blocker, and I could determine what the other team was likely to do, either run or pass, or where they were going to run. And I was a good tackler. We played in a good athletic league, and we played. Two of the teams in our conference were Class A teams, and 4 or 5 of them were Class B. So we played, and we were the smallest school in the conference. We were a small B playing in a conference that had Big A and 2A teams and several teams that were close to being Class A. So when I was a senior, the coach at Central, Bill Kelly, wanted myself and two other players to come to Central and talk to us about going there to school. One of my high school football coaches was the head coach at DeLand, Florida, at a college. And so we went, three of us, a guy who was about a 250-pound fullback, and the fastest player we had on our team, a halfback, and myself went to DeLand, Florida for a weekend, being recruited. And we went to Michigan State one weekend, and I went to Southern Methodist one weekend, which was kind of fun to go to places around the country. But even at the time, I can remember that Southern Methodist was about $20,000 or $25,000 to get in and pay tuition and board and room, and there was no way that I could afford to go to Central or go to Southern Methodist unless they were going to give me a full scholarship, which they weren't. And so I ended up going to Central. I got a half tuition scholarship, so I only had to pay half the tuition, and I had to pay all my board and room. But I had a guaranteed of a job working in the field house so that I could earn money during the school year. So when I graduated, I had played 3 years of football. I was not a starter, but I played and was on the traveling team, and we had a junior varsity team, and so as a freshman I started on the junior varsity team, and so when I was a senior I didn't play football. I decided not to play and teach half-time and get my student teaching experience. But then I went, and because I was a social studies major at college and I was a physical education minor, and I took classes as a phys ed minor about like the theory of football and basketball. So I had a lot of, and I played 3 years in college. So I was hired by a school district in the thumb of Michigan, which is over by Port Huron, to be the head football coach.